I mean, it's a major election, of course. You know, we're looking at the presidency of the United States. There's a lot of differing opinions. There's a lot of emotion involved in this from both sides. But I think the one thing that people need to realize is that everyone is entitled to their vote and their opinion, and we need to respect that. I think that's the most important thing. That if we disagree on a matter, it shouldn't be a hatred and an animosity. It's just a disagreement. You know, there are several people that through the course of this event, we've agreed and we've disagreed, and we've realized that in a professional manner and in a very respectful adult-like manner, we've, walked and said we disagree. And I think that's what's really important with this. Because you support Trump or Biden doesn't mean you're the antithesis of everything else. It just means that's your opinion, and everyone's entitled to that. And I think that's the uniqueness about this American democracy, is that we all have those opinions, and it should never be based on hatred because we support one candidate over another. Well, I was asked to be here to give a blessing as the event kicked off, and I felt it was fitting. Just encouraging everyone to remember the social distancing, wearing your mask when you're unable to do that, as most people are doing so far. We just want to, have a good grassroots effort, and have a very safe kickoff, and just a very safe way for everybody to express their patriotism and their excitement for the upcoming election.
Okay, and is COVID dropping off now in Chautauqua County in terms of numbers?
Well, there has been a spike in North County, so we're watching things and we're monitoring things closely. Prior to this uptick we saw starting on the 16th of August, our numbers had remained relatively low. Prior to the weekend that we had the most cases, last weekend, had we not had that increase of 8 and 9, we would have been down to as many as 2 and 3 cases active cases in the county. So with this uptick, we're concerned. We're monitoring it as we had from the beginning. But our numbers have remained relatively low. If you look at our number of negative cases as compared to the number and the positives, and look at the number we've tested, we're still at a 1.01% infection rate. So we are low. People would argue, depending on the numbers, if we look at the number of people tested, as for example up in the mass testing we did in Dunkirk, and the number of positive, that's at a 6.5%. So it depends on what numbers you look at. But if we're looking at a population of 125,000 and more, and 360, I believe, total cases, and right now we're at 83 active, the numbers are very, very low. So it depends on what numbers you look at.
How sick are these people? Do they have symptoms?
Oh, some people do have symptoms. Some people don't have symptoms. They're asymptomatic. Right now, when I left the office on Friday, we had 3 hospitalizations. None of them were related to the uptick at the Dunkirk food processing facility, Fieldbrook Foods, excuse me. So right now, we're monitoring that. But, people have been, I think our infection rate and the recovery rate is indicative of, how sick people get. Some people are, and everybody's different. We can't say that if you get this, you're going to be fine. Some people, if you have those underlying comorbidities, as they're called, they become more susceptible and their illnesses are much greater, and we've had those cases. So I can't specify that, how it's going to affect everybody. But my urging is that if you feel your symptoms coming on, you need to get to the doctor, you need to get treated, and if they progress, you need to immediately get to your doctor. Because some people have found they've had underlying medical problems they didn't know about. So as the disease progressed and they got sicker, they realized there were other problems that had not been diagnosed yet.
How is the economy recovering in this county at this point? Is it something you can measure at this time?
Well, if we look at the sales tax receipts that we've received thus far, it's trending about where we thought it would be. We did see a very positive uptick in June, but about the middle of July, the governor added the travel advisory list, which hampered travel to Chautauqua County from places like Ohio and other destinations. So we did see an impact on that. But right now, what we have planned for and what we have predicted has been coming through so far. So the latest numbers we looked at is we were about, in early July, the end of July, we were about 4% less in sales tax revenue where we were last year. So that's it was more of a U curve and not a bell curve as we were talking about it. But again, with that travel advisory list, it did affect travel, our Airbnbs, and different events here in the county. So we'll measure it, we'll watch it closely, and we're cautiously optimistic is the word we've been using, and we're going to monitor that. But we urge everybody to get out and support local businesses, especially here in Chautauqua County. and get that economy back up and moving. But we do see a positive trend, yes.